And also, Dreamy Robot has donated. Thank you.
Dreamy Robot.
So dreamy.
Whoa, so dreamy.
Tom Benculosis.
Hello.
I think it would be really cool to see you play a game of Turnip on a stream in the future, or for Games Night. Back to painting Corn Berserk as I go.
Oh, fuck, man. We could do a stream.
There are actually campaign rules. We could do a mini campaign with like 3 or 4 of us.
What?
You guys like mutate and like gain stupid like perks.
What?
Let's do like 3 or 4 games.
What?
Oh my god!
You give me time to build and paint a new army, though, Ben.
You have to. You
have to.
Bored of tiny boys now.
Well, that's because they're the best, Ben. That I want something. No, I'll finish. I want to do those snipers. Because I think they're the worst.
They are the worst. I was looking at someone who'd done a bunch of house rules for the game. When I was looking for like quick reference sheets, someone was like, "Look at my house rules; they're amazing," and they like mega buffed those guys.
Really? Although, not to call them out, but they were in chat earlier. Someone who was talking that was at the tournament. So they said that they had taken the snipers maybe to the previous tournament and they had won all of their games, and I was like, what? How? Wow. And when they explained their strategy, I was like, you are a fucking asshole.
What? How could you be an asshole in Turnip?
Because they used a tactic that I know exists in that you can do in a different game, which I think is very uncool.
Oh no. What is it?
So in Turnip, you have to shoot at the closest thing.
Yeah.
The snipers are allowed to shoot things further away.
That's their whole deal. They can pick their target. Everyone else has to shoot the nearest thing.
Yeah. And they can do that. Let me bring up paint to demonstrate. And so, right, you've got a unit here.
Okay.
Oh, they're...
Can we use different colors?
Right. They've got their unit over there. And you're like, oh, shit, I have to shoot at them. But there's something that you would really love to shoot back here, like a character or something like that.
Okay.
And you're like, no, I have to shoot that. And so what they're saying was, oh, yeah, it's really simple because you just position a unit like this and a unit like this. And so now the only thing your unit can see
fucking lame shit
is you can then and use it like a piece of artillery or something like that. And so you can move your units next to something and then you can shoot anything you like on the table.
By blinkering your unit.
And I was like, you piece of shit.
Because I've seen that done in a lot of games and it always feels really bad.
Yeah, so because it's like a hangover of the rules that lets you do it.
It's a really hard thing to actually stop being a valid tactic when you write the rules.
So I've got an idea.
Oh, yeah.
I think I can solve this. So there's a mechanic in the game that's called an impossible shot. Or like, so whenever you hit on 7s, you're making your impossible shots.
If you shot 7s or higher.
It all falls into this category of you have to roll a 6 followed by a 4.
Yes.
I think you work out how you would word this, that if a unit is not shooting at the closest unit to it, then but it should be shooting at that. So some units say you can shoot at whatever you like. If you're supposed to shoot at something, but your line of sight is obscured, then just that shot is automatically you hit on 7s. And you would describe as like, because you generally don't have impassable terrain in this game. But if there was a unit one side of a wall,
not a lot of line of sight blocking, is there?
No, and then you'd have to like factor that in, like, oh no, if I'm blocking my guys off, and the law would be they're panicking because they know there's enemy troops nearby and they're shooting at something else. That would be how I would, because if you did that, then you'd never want to do this tactic.
Because you'd be reducing your own accuracy.
Now your shots are shit.
That's interesting. I mean, you could use that aggressive. No, could you use that aggressively? I guess you could you could run your unit like up here. You could be like, whoop. And now this guy's shooting back is going to be rubbish because he should be shooting this guy, but he can't because his own boys are in the way. It opens up you can use it. It's a double-edged sword.
You can use it like aggressively, or you just make it like it's a -1 to hit, something like that. Make the shot harder because they aren't actually shooting at the thing that they should be. I don't know. It was like I think that would help to curtail.
That would stop that strategy completely, without a doubt.
Because I thought it was very like, I was suddenly like, okay, right.
I'm not going to do that.
I'm not going to do that. And so, like, the advice you're giving me would not be applicable because that's not how I would ever want to play this faction. Doing dirty tricks.
Blocking your own line of sight.
But especially in like making like the little sniper column. So people used to do that in War Master with cannons.
Yeah, they did because you had to shoot the closest target in War Master as well.
And generally people put some fucking infantry in front of it, and you're like, fuck, I don't want to shoot.
Yeah,
I'm wasting my shots.
I want to shoot your monster.
Yeah, or you want to shoot their like infantry that's like deeply ranked. You've got your 3 units back to back.
Plow through it.
And then you could actually do a lot of damage. But you position your units to leave these tiny
1 mil gaps that are just like a sniper shot.
That you order the whole unit to pivot, and so you can just choose the exact line that you're firing on.
Yeah.
And it always was like...
People have used it in 40k to snipe characters before. Because characters, in some edition, you could only shoot a character if he was like the closest viable target.
Right.
So you could move your tanks to block your line of sight to anyone but the character, and now he's the only target, so I can just kill your general on turn 1.
That fucking sucks.
It's just lame.
Yeah.
And clearly against the spirit of the game. That's the main problem.
Yeah. I can appreciate, it feels like it makes sense that people are doing that in 40k. But in Turnip, come on.
But I can also see why that faction currently just doesn't work. It can't do the thing it's supposed to do. The rules, like the explanation of what this faction's trying to do is not the reality of how they work on the table.
Yeah.
So I can see why someone might be like, oh, actually, if I play it like this now, then I can do what the faction is supposed to be doing.
Sure.
I can see why you would get to that point. But I do think they should buff them a bit.
Yeah, I don't quite know what you'd do with them. They feel a bit...
I would make it so that they can kill the enemy leaders, like have a way of doing it, which is really hard to pull off. But they would also make it so that when your troops try to do something without a leader telling them to, you have to roll a dice. And if you roll a 1, they fuck it up and something goes horribly wrong. So the idea is once you kill the leaders, the troops have become a bit less reliable. But it's still not very unreliable. It's only a 1 in 6.
A 1 in 6.
And you're only activating 4 units.
Yeah.
And once you've lost your couple of leaders, okay, maybe you're activating 2 or 3 of them without leaders.
Yeah.
You might never fail one of those checks.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like,
right?
In most games that you play, even when you're losing your characters, you so rarely, like, you always have to look up the scenario blunder because you're like, oh, fuck, well, it just hasn't come up.
Yeah, so I don't remember it. So I would say that maybe that's where you make them better. You make it so that against that faction, you fail your orders on like a 1 or a 2.
Yeah.
So killing those leaders is now more valuable and probably will come up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that'd be more viable. You would then get very dependent on what the scenario blunder is.
That's true.
Because some of them, the ones that are like, it heals your units. Well, your units are only 4 models.
That's true. Maybe they have their own scenario blunder.
I think if you had a consistent scenario blunder...
That, like when you're playing against this one, it overwrites the scenarios blunder and you're playing the gutter snipe blunder instead.
Yeah.
And you give them a cool faction rule of like, they like to kill the officers and scatter the troops. And then they
something
have
like that. That would instantly make sense.
And like, you fail it on a 1 or a 2 or a 1, 2 or a 3 or whatever works out fairly. Just because at the moment, there's not enough reward for killing their officers with that faction. You lose a lot. You give up a lot to do it, and then you get very little back.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, I think that something like that would work.
Maybe that's...
I'd be into it.
I don't know. But then again, I've played like 7 games of Turnip.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend that I know the game super well and should know better than the people who run the game. Like, I'll leave that up to them.